Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar event. This is Joshua. I'm going to be your host for today's event. We're here to talk about Church Windows and Vanco payment solutions. This is really all about Vanco today. We're going to get started and switch that over to those folks here in just a moment. But before we get started on the event, you'll see a blank screen here today. Because this is my desktop. We don't have anything open, and we're going to get switched over to Vanco's desktop here quickly and shortly. Welcome to all of you. We're really delighted to be having this partnership webinar with the folks here at Vanco. They're so great with us, and we're just so appreciative of everything they do. Before we get started, we are going to be having a recording of this webinar available on our website here sometime in the next couple of weeks. So if you have to duck out early or what have you, you can always come back and revisit and finish up the portion of the event that you missed. If you do have questions for us, please type those into the questions portion of the webinar control panel. You can type those in at any particular point, and we'll do our best to get to those questions. Probably it'll be at the end of the webinar presentation that those questions will be answered, but eventually we will get to those questions. Finally, at the top of your top right or left of your control panel there, you'll see the little red arrow. That if you click on that, that allows you to minimize the webinar control panel, allows you to get it out of the way, get the full visual effect of the webinar presentation. Or if you've got a dual monitor set up, just drag the control panel off there to the second desktop. And so that's it. That's all we've got here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to Melissa and Denise here for Vanco, and so I'm going to go ahead and let's change those presenter duties on that for you. So let's see, here we go. All right, and I think we should be connected here. Okay, there you go. So Melissa, this is all yours, or Denise, and you're off and running. I'll go.
Thank you, Josh. Yes, thank you. This is Denise Collins, and I am responsible for our partner relationships from Vanco Payment Solutions. Joining me today is Melissa Berg, our product director. And we're very fortunate to have this opportunity as we work with Church Windows, and we've had a long time partnership and relationship with Church Windows to be able to present to you today what we know about e-giving, churchgoer preferences for e-giving, so that we can talk with church clients about why they should use e-giving with Vanco in conjunction with our relationship with Church Windows. So from a little bit about Vanco, we service 20 to 22,000 churches every year who trust us to process their donations and payments annually, processing over $13 billion in processing transactions as well as donations and payments. So I look forward to, and I would like to introduce you to Melissa Berg, who is going to tell you a little bit more about Vanco and what we've done to learn about electronic giving and churchgoer preferences in addition to our Give Plus suite of products. Melissa?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We will start with just talking a little bit about the donor landscape and where things sit in terms of e-giving, and then towards the end is when we'll talk a little bit more about Vanco. So I'm Melissa Berg, Director of Product Management. I've been with Vanco for about 13 years, so I'm very excited to join you today and have this discussion. So we'll just go through here. First, we'll talk about Vanco in general. So, all right, so included with all your Vanco products is you're going to be working with the market leader in e-giving and payment solutions specifically for churches. So Vanco has about 20,000 churches that use our products. Most of our products are designed specifically for the church. We deliver money to the churches faster. Usually you get your funds for your donations the day they come out of the donor's bank account or a day or two later. We have our secure end-to-end processing. So Vanco is a little bit different than some other e-giving providers, is we actually do all of it. So we host your giving page, we provide your giving solutions, we do the processing of the payments, and we give you the money in your bank account. So that means that we're involved in all aspects of the process. What it means for you is you have one phone number to call if you need help, one group of individuals looking out for you. So we've been doing this for, like I said, I've been here for about 13 years. Vanco has been doing it for about 20. And we are the largest payment processor for churches. We process about $13 billion per year, so a little over $1 billion a month. And we have an integration with many different software providers, but we have a very nice integrated solution with Church Windows. So let's talk about e-giving today. So, churchgoers, their preference for e-giving is just continuing to grow, even among older adults. So frequency of church attendance and use of traditional giving methods have declined. People are busy. They can't always make it to church on Sunday. And the practice of using cash or a check in an envelope is just, now what people are gravitating towards. People use their debit cards. People do all of their banking online. And so what happens with the church is that the frequency of those in the past regular weekly giving has definitely seen a decline and is starting to drop off.
And if I can add, this is Denise, the way that we know this is having done some churchgoer research. So we researched, or we requested responses from 1,000 churchgoers that had attended church in the last 30 days and had made a donation in the last 30 days. They agreed to be part of our survey, which uncovered where these findings came. And we did the original study in 2015, and we had just completed a sort of review of that study to see if our hypotheses at that time were still consistent with what we're seeing now. So these numbers continue to grow, and then I'll hand it back over to you.
All right. So yeah, so you can see, 62% of ages 45 to 54. A lot of these are very active in the church at this point, and they're definitely looking at e-giving, and those numbers just keep going up. If you think about individuals who maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago were saying that, they would never get a cell phone, those same people are either enthusiastically getting their cell phone or maybe grudgingly getting their cell phone. It just shows you how things are evolving and changing over the last 10 to 15 years. So frequency of attendance and use of traditional methods have declined. I think we all know hardly anyone even accepts a check anymore, which means you really don't use a check. I think most individuals may have one or two different scenarios where they actually write a check, and one of those being church. So church givers attending once a week or more church service or an activity has declined about 20%, 6% decline in cash, 8% in checks, and then also a drop in people mailing in their donation. Again, people are using other methods other than just the traditional paper method. So what happens is you get increases in less frequent giving. So people who were, 49% of people were making weekly contributions pretty consistently. That's gone down just in 2 years, down to 34%. That's a huge production. Now 23% of them are giving once a month, so that's gone up 6%. People giving every 2 to 3 months has increased, and every 6 months. So again, it's people are kind of getting away from doing the weekly contributions, and they're wanting something a little bit less frequent, once a month, once a quarter, a couple times a year. So what Vanco has done is basically created a product suite to help you get consistent giving, mainly by getting a recurring donation from your donors. That way, if they're not in church that Sunday, if they're not in church that month, or maybe for the summer, they're still able to make their contribution, and that really helps the church in terms of getting consistent donations coming in. So the first I'll show you kind of an overview of our Give Plus suite. So we have online giving that can be done from a laptop, desktop computer, or from your phone using your mobile browser. Vanco has a mobile app, so that's an app that an Apple phone user or an Android can download and make donations via that. We also have our Give by Text product, which allows you to make your donations via text giving. And then the kiosk. Kiosk is an on-site donation processing option where the donor doesn't need to have a smartphone, doesn't need to know how to use a smartphone. They can go up, touch a couple buttons, swipe their card, make their gift, and print their receipt. And then we have Give Plus Swipe. Give Plus Swipe is great for basically your full church life, your church activity. You know, you've got garage sales going on, a pumpkin patch, you've got different fundraisers, auctions, and events. That's a great way for you to be able to accept debit and credit card donations and payments from pretty much anywhere just by plugging that into the phone that the cell phone you already have. So Give Plus Online, so this is our online giving product. This is great because you are able to embed this into your own website. You can design the content around the page to be what you want, and then inside of that is going to be your secure online giving form. Donors can give as a guest, or they can make a profile. They can give one time or recurring. They can give to one fund or multiple funds. They can also help offset the processing fees that are involved with, you know, if you process a card, you have to pay Visa for part of that card transaction. So this helps, the offset fee will basically ask them if they want to give an extra 2% to help cover the cost of the processing fee. When the donor checks that box, then they automatically increase their gift by that amount. You can also customize the page to match your church's logo, your colors. You can change that. You actually have 24/7 access to change it. So if you redesign your website, you can come out and update that. It takes effect immediately. You can also add and remove different funds and giving categories at your discretion. And then if you're using Give Plus Mobile, when a donor logs into Give Plus Online, they can use their same login for their mobile app. So this is basically how it works. When the church, when you first get your Vanco embed, you're going to decide which funds you want to show. A lot of times you'll start with general operating, building, missions. Again, you can change those at any point. So once you have the giving categories, your donor simply chooses the giving frequency, amount, fund that they want. They put in their credit or debit card or their checking and savings account, and then they complete the donation. So making a gift can take just, you know, probably less than 3 minutes, and they can have their recurring donations set up. So Give Plus Mobile is our mobile giving app. Like I said, it's on the Apple Store, it's on Google Play. You can actually download that on your phone right now if you wanted to. When the donor logs in, the first thing they do is they choose their church. And then once they've chose their church, and you can search by the church name, your zip code. You can also just press the button to find churches near you. Once you've selected your church, then the donor is able to, again, they can give as a guest. They can create a profile. They can give as a guest today and make a profile tomorrow, and that's okay too. Also, because it's on an app, we have some easy to use pre-selected amounts that the donor can choose from, and the church decides that amount. So if you want your 3 amounts to be 25, 50, 100, you can do that. If you're doing a special campaign, maybe for a building fund, you could have your preset amounts be 100, 500, 1,000, whatever you want to do with that. And then again, you can accept debit and credit cards. You can also accept e-check on the mobile app, and then the donor can help you cover those fees. And again, this is just an example of what the app looks like, but really straightforward. Pick your church, make your donation, process it securely. Just takes a couple of minutes. Okay, so the kiosk, this is our on-site. It's a portable, secure payment and donation kiosk. It allows donors to give in the moment. So the only requirement for a donor to give via kiosk is that they have a debit or credit card and they want to make a donation. Donors simply walk up to it, press the buttons to select the amount they want to give to the funds they want to give to, and then swipe their card. Also, because this is a in-person donation kiosk, they can also print a receipt for their records. A lot of churches, when they purchase a kiosk, will use it for preschool payments. A lot of times, if it's for childcare, they can use their flexible spending card. They can make their payment, print their receipt for their records, and have that all done within just a minute. So for this one, it's basically 3 screens. They choose their donation amount. Again, you're going to, as the church, you're going to choose your giving categories. You can change them as you want to. So if there's a disaster that happens on Saturday and you want to raise funds for it on Sunday, you can put in that fund right before service and it'll appear on the app right away. The donor chooses their donation, swipes their card, and then they can do their receipt and their offering plate flip. Give plus text. So this is another great tool, not only for getting consistent giving from donors, but also a way to raise a lot of funds and allow donors to give in the moment. So this is the fastest way for a donor to give. It takes less than 1 minute for their first donation. And then after that, donations take about 10 seconds. So with, excuse me, so with the first donation, what happens is when you sign up for Give by Text, we give you a 10-digit phone number. We'll use your area code when we create the phone number. A donor goes to their text message, sends the dollar amount they want to give, so 50, 100, whatever the amount is, to that phone number. And we'll, on the very first donation, we'll say, thank you, click here to set up your card. When you click on that, they can set up their payment method for their donation. And then that donation will process instantly. After that, because we now have the card on file, every additional donation, all you do is go back to that conversation in your text messages, send the amount you want to give this week, and it'll process automatically. Donors also have the option when they make a gift, they can respond with the word repeat if they want to make their donation recurring. When they do that, they'll get the choice of having it repeat once a week, once a month, once a quarter, or once a year based on how often they want that donation to occur. Okay, the next product is Give Plus Swipe. So this is a mobile card reader. It can be plugged into iPads, iPhones, and Android phones. The app is free to download on the App Store, and what it allows you to do is to take one-time payments and donations from anywhere that you have service. So you can, if you don't have Wi-Fi, that's okay, as long as your phone has internet access, you'll be able to use the app to take payments. You can use this for a variety of things, VBS registration nights. You can take multiple fund donations. You can put notes in next to the payment. So say you are doing VBS registration night, next to the payment, you can make a note of what the child's name is so that when you go to do your reporting, you know that this is the payment for this individual child. They can receive an emailed receipt if they want one. And again, with all of Vanco's products, we use end-to-end encryption, which means that our cardholder data is secure at all times during the process because only Vanco holds our encryption keys, so no one else would be able to decipher those numbers without us. And this is just an example of what that screen looks like. So again, as many categories as they want. So if youth group wants to use it to sell some pumpkins, they can add a category into there. If another group, if you want to use it for Wednesday night supper, any of those types of situations where you have a lot of people who maybe they don't have enough cash with them. So you say, okay, well, why don't you just go ahead and double up next time? Now you won't have to do that because they can just pay with their card right there for dinner. And then we have our hosted online giving. So this is Our full, robust online giving product, you can use this for online donations. You can use it for registrations, summer camp. You can do school tuition, including tuition payment plans, and pledge campaigns. So if you have a building campaign, someone can pledge a specific amount and then decide the terms of that pledge. Do they want to pay it monthly for a year? They want to pay it monthly for 2 years? You'll have all those options in the pledge module. Again, as with all of our products, they can create a profile or they can just give us a guest. If they don't remember their login for whatever reason, they can give us a guess this time and log into their profile next time. We have a large number of data collection tools that allows you to actually take the registration and make the payment at the same time. So things like summer camp where you need to capture, the child's food allergies, emergency contact name, insurance information, you're able to gather all of that on the same form while they make their payment, so you're not either trying to chase down that payment or try to chase down that registration form. It's all done in one online process. Full site and mobile versions are both included. So if they're on a desktop computer, it's going to function as based on a full site, or it'll present the mobile version when appropriate. Vanco also has easy customization tools that let you control the content and the appearance of your pages. We also have support reps on site that can help you customize your page to meet your needs, but it's all done through a very easy Windows-based tool. If you can upload a photo on Facebook, you'll be able to use the online editor. The payment options, again, are very flexible. You can take checking and savings accounts as e-check. You can also do debit cards and credit cards. Donors can help offset those card processing fees as well. And then you'll get a copy of this webinar upon request. So if you do that, you can also click on this option, this icon right here, and see all the customization options that we have for our online giving. Also in the presentation are different demo sites. So if you want to see what a church donation page looks like, we have different demos here for you to be able to view as well. All clients that use Vanco's products and solutions have 24/7 unlimited access to our online web portal, which we call My Vanco. You can use this portal to view your donors and their donation history. You can also view reports or create a custom report. Say you use some of your financial tools within your software, but you also keep QuickBooks. For certain things, you can run QuickBooks reports in here as well. You can also customize your online giving pages, your mobile app, your kiosk, all from the same login, as well as creating payment and event registration pages as those needs arise. Our e-giving reports, so again, we've got a video here that you can watch. Most of our clients do their reconciliation weekly, so what will happen is you will get an import for your software, and then you will get a matching weekly report, and those two sets of data will match, so you'll know that everything you uploaded into your software will also balance out to the deposits in your bank account. You can have your reports delivered right to your email address and to multiple individuals. So if you have some people that track one part of the giving and someone something else, you can actually have multiple recipients from them. And then we also archive those reports on the service center for a minimum of 7 years. In case there's any questions, you can always go back to get to those. And again, there's a reports video that you can watch that explains how to use your Vanco e-giving report once you sign up. All right. You want to talk about our special offer?
Absolutely. Thank you. So, and we did have a couple questions that have come through too, so we'll be sure to address those. And if we don't address them today, we will be sure to follow up with you on an individual basis. So, fall promotion that we're running this month is, or specifically for Church Windows clients, is if you've attended this webinar and you are considering e-giving or you're considering e-giving provider that you're currently using, we do have a special offer to provide you with 3 months of free monthly plan fees to get you started. And this link, which we can, of course, follow up with as well, will take you to that special offer. So we're very grateful to have the opportunity to work with Church Windows, and we wanted to be able to extend an offer to them specifically.
All right. So our giving experts can help you build the right e-giving program for your needs. You saw a lot of different products today during this webinar. You are welcome to start off with 1 or 2 of your preferred products and then add those additional products to help grow your giving. So our giving experts can help you decide which products are right for you and what you should start with. You can also reach out directly to me. Again, I'm in product management, and I can always assist you. And that's my contact information on the screen.
Got some good questions here.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
So one is it possible to place Vanco on Facebook? If so, how?
Yes, you can share the Vanco link on to Facebook. So when you sign up with Vanco, what we'll do is we'll create your online giving link. You'll have access to customize it. That link now belongs to you. So you can place it on your website. You can also put it on Facebook, and you can also send it out in different email campaigns, bulletins, mailings, and that sort of thing.
Okay, thank you. Another question is, when splitting a donation or designating a donation to a particular fund or account, how many options can we offer for various accounts?
So you can have as many giving categories as you would like. They can also be payment categories. So you can have, general operating, building, missions, any of those type of giving categories along with payments, and then you'll decide which bank account those are deposited into. So if you keep say you're doing a capital campaign and you want those funds to go into a different bank account, you'll be able to have a separate bank account for that capital campaign than maybe you do for your general giving. And again, that's unlimited. So if church and school have different bank accounts, church and preschool, you'll be able to decide which bank account each set of deposits go into. But when the donor makes their donation, they get one debit amount, which is really nice for them because then they can see that on their bank statement as one debit for all of their donations that they made that day. But on the back end, you're able to split it out the way that you need to do your books.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, we had another good question. So also there's an interface that downloads, is there an interface that downloads the donations into Windows for various reports, year-end giving, et cetera?
Yes, absolutely. So we do have an integration with Church Windows where you will be able to import all of your activity from Vanco into the Church Windows system. That basically allows you to automatically post those donations instead of having to manually post them like you do with, say, a paper check or a different type of giving.
And we'll be covering that tomorrow.
Yes, yep. I was going to say there's a webinar tomorrow that goes over how you can import your Vanco donations into Church Windows.
Yes, so thank you for your question, Paul. That was a perfect segue into us talking about the webinar tomorrow, which will talk specifically about the import steps and how to do that in the software. This is a good one because I'm experiencing this myself. Your swipe attachment does not fit on many Apple devices with cases or new iPhones without the headphone jack. So what are we planning to do about that? Will you be able to release a new Bluetooth device that also accepts chip cards? So 2 questions there. You want to hit the device first, and if you don't, I'm happy to do the chip card.
Yeah. So as far as the device goes, we have looked at options for mobile card readers that would work where you maybe have an Apple phone, but you have a case on it. They all kind of have this, most of the mobile card readers all use a headphone jack, and so the mechanical connection of it is basically the same. So there really isn't a different option, but for the most part, if your case isn't very thick, you can actually not take your case off. I have an OtterBox, and I don't have to take my case off in order to use the reader. So it just depends on the, the size of the case and the phone that you're using. If you have an iPhone 7, which does not have a headphone jack, you can use your Lightning cord adapter and plug your card reader into that.
Good, thank you. And then will we release a new Bluetooth device? I'm not sure about Bluetooth at this point. Do you have any insight into that?
There are some Bluetooth options out there. They're fairly new. Typically what Vanco does, because we're selling these to our existing clients and churches, we let kind of these new products settle for a little while, make sure that all the bugs are worked out, make sure that the best device makes itself known, and that's usually when we'll come in and do that. So definitely something we're looking at some point, but just not something we have right now.
Okay. And then to answer, it's much along the same lines as what you just said would be the same answer for chip cards. We find that in this industry, in working in charitable giving, there is far less of a risk in dealing with donations and tithing toward churches versus merchant theft, which is where security for a chip is far more prevalent. So at this point, we are allowing the sort of dust to settle, if you will, on the technology and the modifications to that technology for chip cards before we make a determination on what changes we need to make in offering chip cards or chip-enabled devices. There are several questions about fees and pricing. If you go to www.vancopayments.com/church-windows, you will be taken to a landing page that's blue, and you will be provided with some information specific to pricing in the bottom left. You can schedule a call, you can review pricing information, and we want to make sure that when you're contacting us that you let us know you are a Church Windows client, so we can apply that promotion for you as well. So hopefully that helps there.
I don't think we mentioned anything about the handouts.
Okay.
So
yes.
I might want to let folks know that there is a material that is available.
Okay, great. Yes, so we've uploaded some handouts. There is a Give Plus Suite handout, which provides just an overview of each one of the Give Plus solutions that Melissa just covered. We also have a flyer with both the Church Windows and the Vanco logo telling you a little bit about e-giving in general and providing you with the 800 number and email address and a link to that landing page that I mentioned earlier. We've got some resource information there. In addition, we added the importing guide as well for reference. And while that may be applicable more for tomorrow's session specifically, this is basically just a how-to guide and how to perform that import within the Church Windows software. So we have all of those available for reference as they are called handouts in the go-to webinar. So you have those as well. And if anyone would like, and I know that there was at least one individual that requested the PDF version of the presentation, we'll be happy to send that out as well. Just let us know.
And I'll make sure that Vanco Partner Import Guide is available tomorrow on tomorrow's webinar as well.
All right, let me see. We've covered them all.
All right, folks. Yeah, don't feel free to type in your questions. We're happy to answer those. All right. Well, it looks like we got folks kind of diving out pretty quickly. We'll give folks another couple minutes to see if they're typing in their questions still. Again, we hope you're able to join us for tomorrow's event that covers in detail the actual importing of a Vanco text file into Church Windows. Hopefully that'll be really insightful for you. I think we already have a video out there of a previous webinar on the same topic, but if you're welcome to join tomorrow as well. We'd love to have you.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, well, great. I think we'll call it there. Looks like folks are heading out pretty quickly here. So thank you so much. We really hope that, that attending this webinar event has been helpful for you. And we really do appreciate both Denise and Melissa coming in from Vanco to help us today with this. They're really great partners, and we really appreciate everything that they do. So again, folks, please let us know if you have questions, or of course, contact the Vanco folks through the URL that Denise had provided earlier, and they'll be happy to answer questions you have as well. All right. Thank you all so much. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.